Alright, we all know these F1 drivers are maniacs for speed on the track, but what about off it? Turns out, their obsession with cars doesn't hit the brakes when the race ends. From insane multi-million-dollar Bugattis to some surprisingly humble rides, these guys have beauties in the garages. A garage that'll make any car love a drool, I guess. So I've made the top 10 car collections of famous drivers, from the cheapest to most expensive. So, are you interested in calculating how much these legends spend on their vehicles? Then hit that like button, turn on notifications, and let go! We'll start off simple. Remember that episode about the legendary Honda NSX on our channel? Well, here's the proud owner of this beauty, Yuki Tsunoda. His name in the F1 world maybe isn't the greatest or the biggest, but his taste in cars is great. In this case, I'm not talking about your average Honda here. This is a hybrid supercar, $160,000 with a twin-turbo V6 and electric motors. It's got serious power and agility, just like Tsunoda himself. And I can't let you forget the Japanese pride. Tsunoda driving an NSX is like a perfect homage to his roots. It's one of Japan's finest cars, a sleek, stylish machine that handles like a dream. Honestly, for a guy who's all about being quick and nimble, this car is the perfect match. I know it's not much, but it's honest work. We're climbing up. Next on our list is Daniel Ricciardo. Fun both on and off the track. His car collection is just as bold as he is, starting with McLaren 720S, $300,000, which has been spotted driving to Silverstone more than a few times. This beast is no joke. The 720S is sleek, fast, and goes from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in under 3 seconds. Since speed in our case is the main indicator of coolness, for me it's like the Swiss Army knife of supercars. Power, performance, and looks all rolled into one. But the real gem in Ricciardo's collection is Porsche GT3, $160,000, back home in Australia. And let me say, this car has got history. It used to belong to a high-profile lawyer from Perth before Daniel scooped it up. The GT3 is legendary, especially among Porsche fans, for its naturally aspirated engine and pinpoint handling. And because Danny Rick is as Aussie as they come, it wouldn't be a proper collection without his Holden Ute, $40,000. I know, right? If you're not familiar with a Ute, imagine a rugged pickup that's practically an Australian icon. It might not be as flashy as a Ferrari or a Bugatti, but it's the kind of vehicle that says, yeah, I like my luxury, but I can still throw a surfboard in the back and head to the beach. I find it as classic as Ricciardo. Down to earth, practical, but still ready for a bit of an adventure at any moment. Going up, baby. Sainz is newer to the Ferrari ownership game, but he's already making waves with his first Ferrari, a Ferrari 812 Competizione, $620,000. Talk about a step up from the humble VW Golf, $30,000, his parents gifted him at 18. Can you imagine going from that to one of Ferrari's most powerful V12 machines? I think it's like upgrading from a bicycle to a rocket ship. With Sainz's smooth yet aggressive driving style, the 812 Competizione seems like the perfect match for him. And trust me, with his rising success on the track, it won't be long before his collection rivals Charles Leclerc's, his teammate. 7th place and the $1 Million League. In the case of cool Ferrari boys, I'll continue with Charles Leclerc, Ferrari's golden child. For me, it's no shock that his car collection is packed with Italian masterpieces. One of his most iconic rides, the Ferrari 488 Pista, $300,000. You've probably seen him on a TV zipping around Monaco in it like it's no big deal. But let me tell you, this car is a big deal. I'm talking over $300,000 for a twin-turbo V8 beast that's practically built for the racetrack. Yet, Leclerc seems to love showing it off on those narrow Monaco streets. I mean, if you've got it, why not flaunt it, right? And as if that wasn't enough, Leclerc recently added a Ferrari 812 Competizione, $750,000 to his collection. This thing is rare. Only 589 were ever made, and Leclerc's version is rumored to be customized to make it even more valuable than its base price of about $560,000. The real kicker? It's got a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine, which I think is practically an endangered species in today's car world. For any Ferrari fanatic, this is the holy grail. When you see Leclerc cruising around in one of these, it's clear he's living every Ferrari fan's wildest dream. Honestly, if I had his garage, I'd be driving it around Monaco in slow motion just so people could admire it longer. On the 6th place, you've got Nico Hülkenberg with his big boy cars. Let's look at his garage. Although Hülkenberg is not racing full-time anymore, his car collection still impresses. He keeps things practical with an electric smart car, approximately $25,000 for city driving. But he also owns a Pagani Hyara, $3 million, a hypercar boasting 800 horsepower that can rocket to 100 kilometers per hour in just over 3 seconds. Talk about a stark contrast. The Hyara is renowned for its stunning craftsmanship and insane performance. You'll probably expect some of the youngsters to be here, and here he is, Lando Norris, one of the younger talents of F1. I know, Lando might still be in his early 20s, but his car collection is already turning heads. And honestly, it's exactly what you'd expect from someone with his personality. First up, we've got his McLaren GT, $210,000. Now, the GT is sleek, stylish, and has all the speed you'd expect, but it's a little bit more of a grand tourer. I think it's perfect for those days when Lando wants to feel reasonably fast. It's the kind of car you'd take on a scenic drive, or take it out to a local cinema, if you want all eyes on you, I guess. Next in his garage, the McLaren 765 LT Spider, $382,000. $15,500. The kind of car that says, yeah, I race for a living and I like my toys to match. This thing is nearly double the price of his GT and twice as wild. With its retractable roof, it gives Lando the option of feeling the wind in his hair while still tearing up the road. It's pretty much the definition of cool. And in my opinion, it fits Lando's laid-back but competitive vibe perfectly. But what was Lando's first car, you will ask? Our favorite and cherished Fiat 500. $15,000, I'll say. It's quirky, it's fun, it's reliable. Simple as that. Recently, he even auctioned it off. So if you're looking for some F1 memorabilia with a twist, there you go. And because no car collection is complete without a dream car, rumor has it that Lando's got his eye on a Pagani Zonda. $2.5 million. We're storming through and approaching the top 3. But for now, 4th place. The Finn Bottas, now racing for Alfa Romeo, has some seriously cool rides. And his choices say a lot about his personality. First up, he's got a Mercedes AMG GT Black Series. $325,000. An absolute beast in my opinion. I find it as a Bottas little nod to his Mercedes days, where he fought side by side with Hamilton. Black Series is known for its aggressive aerodynamics and track-ready setup, making it one of the fastest Mercedes has ever unleashed. As usual, Bottas, as the other speed freaks on my list, can't just keep it simple. He's also got an Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, $90,000. Yeah, a performance SUV. On steroids, I know. This thing has a Ferrari-derived V6 engine under the hood, so it's not your typical grocery getter. I mean, can you imagine cruising to the shops in a car that could probably outrun most sports cars? Only F1 drivers, right? And if the rumors are true, Bottas might be adding an AMG 1, $3,115,000 to his garage. Now that's what I'll call a whole new level of firepower. The AMG 1 is basically a racing bolide in street-legal clothing. So Bottas is clearly planning to bring the racetrack home with him. This guy surely knows his stuff, I guess. And the prize place, not so far away from Bottas, here's Max Verstappen. Now, we all know Max as the guy who's pretty much unbeatable in his Red Bull racing car. But what does he drive when he's not dominating the grid? Well, let me tell you, his garage is almost as impressive as his trophy cabinet. Front and center, his collection of Aston Martins. We're not talking about one or two. Max has a whole fleet of these beauties. The DB11, $200,000. The DBX SUV, $200,000. And the DBS Superleggera, $330,000 are just a few of the highlights. Each one is basically a masterpiece on wheels, combining that perfect mix of speed, style, and luxury. The DB11 alone, man, that thing's got a V12 that purrs like a lion. It's the kind of car that'll make you feel like James Bond just pulling into the supermarket. But if you really want to talk about next level, Max is something that'll make even Bond jealous. The Aston Martin Valkyrie, $3 million. I know for a fact this isn't just a car. This is a statement. Designed with the help from Red Bull's racing F1 engineers, it's practically a Formula 1 car in disguise. Top speed, 400 kilometers per hour. And with a price tag around $3 million bucks, I'll just say it's not your average afternoon drive. This thing's so extreme, it's like they forgot to stop at hypercar and just made an F1 car you can take to the regular roads. I find it unpractical riding this every day. So did Max. His daily car is, wait for it, a Renault Clio, $10,000. Yeah, you heard me right. The guy who can hit 300 kilometers per hour on a track is rolling around in the same kind of car you probably learned to drive in. Why? Well, turns out Clio holds some sentimental value for Max. It was the first car he learned to drive in, way before he even had a license. So, while he's breaking records on Sundays during the week, he's just like the rest of us. Well, kinda. It just goes to show, even the fastest man on Earth sometimes likes to keep things simple. Silver medal goes to the UK. Let's talk about someone whose car collection is anything but simple. Lewis Hamilton. I mean, this guy on the track won 7 world titles. But off it, he's got a garage that could make a billionaire weep with envy. The absolute crown jewel of his, in my opinion, the Mercedes AMG Project 1, $2.7 million. And this car, it's so insane that it's literally banned in the US because it's too powerful. Yep, the government took one look and said, no thanks. At $2.7 million, it's got tech pulled straight from F1 and put right on the road. And when I say F1 tech, I mean this thing goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.6 seconds. What kind of jet on the road is that? Just imagine having something so advanced that even the land of muscle cars and monster trucks says, nah, we're good. Of course, as one proud Brit, Hamilton got a McLaren P1, $1.1 million. Because what's another 1.1 million when you're that guy, right? And then there's his LaFerrari Aperta, $2 million. One of the rarest Ferraris ever built. This thing's part of the holy trinity of hypercars, sitting alongside the P1 and the Porsche 918, which is like having the Ferrari, McLaren, and Porsche Avengers in your garage. At over $2 million, the LaFerrari Aperta is an art piece that you can drive. And for those vintage vibes, he's got a 1966 Shelby Cobra 427, $5.5 million. It's about pure, unfiltered, raw American muscle. Back when horsepower meant horsepower, not software updates. Thinking of getting inside the wheel of this beauty makes my palms sweaty, honestly. I guess sometimes even champions make mistakes. Back in 2015, Lewis had a little incident with his purple Pagani Zonda, $2 million, in Monte Carlo. Now, thankfully, no one was hurt. But Hamilton later admitted that while it sounded amazing, it was an absolute nightmare to drive. I know, right? Stiff suspension, tricky handling, sounds like a recipe for disaster in Monaco's narrow streets. No surprise he he eventually sold it. Sometimes, even the most beautiful cars are better off as poster material than daily drivers. Oh, and let's not forget the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG Black Series, $500,000. This thing takes luxury and performance to a whole new level. It's got that perfect AMG blend of outrageous power and impeccable style, making it a head-turner and a rocket on wheels. Basically, if you're ever invited to check out Hamilton's garage, clear your schedule, because you're in for a masterclass in automotive perfection. Ding, ding, ding! Here's our winner, Adrian Sutil, a guy whose car collection can even make Hamilton jealous, I guess. Sutil, who's been out of F1 since 2015, is sitting on a fleet that'll make your jaw drop. Ready for this? He owns 7 Bugattis. Average Bugatti price, $3 million to $18 million each. How many of them you need, you'll ask me? 7 apparently. It's to this point that it looks like he's stacking them like they're Hot Wheels. The best of them for me is his Bugatti Chiron per sport, $3.6 million. A masterpiece known as the Green Rhapsody. Lighter, more agile, and built for twisting corners, not just blasting down straightaways. It's basically ultimate flex in both speed and style. And Sutil, being Sutil, didn't keep it all modestly. He's also got 2 Pagani Huayras, $3.5 million, one of which is a Zonda, just like the one Hamilton wrecked, and 2 Koenigseggs. Average Koenigsegg price, $3 million to $6 million each. I'll be your fellow Wikipedia. Koenigseggs are basically Bugatti's rival when it comes to pushing the limits of speed. Owning one is rare enough, but owning 2? That's just showing off. Of course, Sutil's collection hasn't been without its bumps. Literally. In 2020, he crashed his McLaren Senna LM, $1.5 million in Monaco. With only 20 of these cars ever made, it was a major loss. The Senna, named after the legendary Ayrton Senna, is an 800 horsepower beast designed for pure performance. Losing one is like losing a piece of automotive art. But we only live once, am I right? At the end of the day, it's just metal. Whose collection was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more automotive content. Until next time, keep your engines revving.